Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel, whether you're new or you're coming back. I appreciate having you all guys and I can't wait to deliver the message. Today I was guided to focus a little bit more on the connection and the journey to union among the twins. So the questions that I'm going to be looking at, we're still going to be checking the energies of each of the collective, but with the focus on what are the twins doing, what is happening on their journey to move them closer to union, right? Like specifics, so that maybe you can appreciate certain things that you didn't think before that were contributing to your journey to union, right? Or maybe if you don't feel like anything, like there is any movement to union, then at least you can refocus or think about, get some new ideas of what you could be doing. And of course the same goes for your twin. So if you're a cross watcher, you will also have some insight into what is happening with your twin flame and how they are doing the work to get closer to union, even if it doesn't look like that from the distance. And we'll get the vibe, the energy from the connection itself. I also got my Keepers of the Light deck here, so we'll get some guidance from the Ascended Masters. Okay, let's get started, and I'm starting with an Oracle deck as usual. Today is the Cosmic Journey Oracle. So let's get a card for Divine Feminine first, and then for Divine Masculine. So then we'll move on with the tarot reading. Oops. Yeah. That happened when I was gonna say that I actually uploaded one of my podcasts on my other channel yesterday, Mindful Bamboo. Please check it out. First of all, September horoscopes are up. If you're interested to know a little bit more into your story based on your zodiac signs, it's the kind of the collective, the circle will be tighter for that kind of reading that it would be here, because this is the entire twin flame collective. It's not for twin flames, but it's for each zodiac sign, and you can also pick like sun, moon, rising, Venus. Pay attention to the titles, you know the drill. So those are all up, and they are focusing on love connection, work and career space, and then general guidance and messages from your person of interest, of course. And another big news is that I uploaded my podcast on practical mindfulness yesterday on my other channel, Mindful Bamboo. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it here. I might, but maybe not. We'll see. So if you're interested in that, so I'm talking to Casey Armstrong. It's this host from the podcast Business News Network that was doing the interview with me. And I was talking about like practical things, because we talk about mindfulness a lot. It's a fancy term. A lot of people abuse it even, it's part of the name of my brand, like both of them, if you consider Mindful Twin Flame a separate brand from Mindful Bamboo. But I want people to take it seriously, right? In all fairness, right? Like, what does it mean? What stands behind it? And when we hear fancy terms, it's like we get a general impression like, yeah, the person is trying to be fancy. But when it comes to bringing more mindfulness to your life, what does that mean, right? And that's where I think it's useful to dive deeper into what it means, right? And how can you start making your life more mindful right now, actually? And what can you do tomorrow or a week after? What if you don't know how to meditate? Are you still gonna be... Is there a chance for you to bring more mindfulness? Absolutely. What if you're not fit and you don't exercise regularly? Is there still a chance? Yes, absolutely. And you can approach it, like I keep saying, from different aspects: mind, body, and soul, right? And it will be impacting all three, regardless of which aspect are you targeting or you're focusing on. Right, but there's a lot of like food for thought there. And of course, Casey is asking me some questions from like non-spiritual background, so I think it was pretty fun actually. So check it out, it's on my other channel, Mindful Bamboo. Okay, let's move on. Let's see what we have for Divine Feminines now, for real. I like this vibe that I'm getting about the union that today it's important to focus on the union mentality and getting together rather than individual stuff. We got 2 cards for the feminine. Your greatest joy pollinates the world, and right into this reality. Wow. Yeah, speaking of, simple things, appreciate the stuff that you have, give thanks more often than you normally do. The second one is about journaling, of course. This is like one of top 3 mindfulness best practices. Seriously. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's simple, but not many people do it. It's very important, I would say. Especially if you don't have a coach or a therapist or a mentor, like somebody who you regularly talk to about what's going on in your life. Like not casually, like to a friend, but with that awareness in mind that you're doing work on yourself. This is a good kind of like silent partner, silent listener for your stories, for your thoughts, feelings, emotions, etc. And guess what? Both of them come down to 5. So this is 41, which is 5, and this is 32, which is also 3, and 2 is 5. So these topics bring that transformation that we're talking about. I started this topic a couple of days ago. I think that we are building this foundation for major transformations this fall, and these habits, these practices, and it was important actually that I started it with my speech about the mindfulness and practical mindfulness, because it's important to anchor these practices into your life. So it's not like I pulled up the cards and today you're like, okay, I'm gonna say thanks to that friend of mine that helped me out, and I didn't really say thanks properly, so I'm gonna do it, right? Or okay, so that card with the journaling fell out, so maybe I'll write down some thoughts today, right? It's not really about that. It's about making it a conscious new habit for yourself. And yes, at first you'll have to remind yourself, and we have so many tools these days, starting from the good old sticky notes and ending with like special apps on our phone, reminders, you name it, right? So this is about that, about building a habit. What do we have for the masculine today? That's how it's gonna change your world. If you do it once, unlikely. What do we have for the masculines today? And I'll be doing the 9/9 portal reading this week, of course. Somebody asked me that. Also 2 cards here. I will be doing it. The portal is on Friday, is it? Yes, it's on Friday. So I'll probably do a reading on Thursday. It could be Friday. We'll see what happens. Because it's going to be one of the days is going to be focused on Mercury retrograde. Another one is going to be the 9/9 portal. And I know that they're connected. Obviously, they're happening at the same time. But I still want to differentiate a little bit more so that there is that layer of your understanding, which aspects are more driven from the Mercury retrograde and which ones are more connected with this 9/9 portal. And I'll speak a bit more on the differences and specifics as I'm doing those readings. So it's gonna be a fun week. And there will be full moon in Pisces on Saturday. So yeah, it will be fun week ahead. So for the masculines, we have, I love when this falls for the masculines, such a masculine card, so fun with the head and mustache. You will only see the way by making the way, and your great wave awaits. Yeah, I'm sensing a theme here, right? That you're supposed to be a trailblazer, a pioneer, and it's not gonna be simple. It's not just like, manual movement, like nobody did the dig in this way, in this direction, so maybe I'll just go here to find my treasure. No, it's something innovative. It's something that other people either haven't thought about or they were afraid to try it. I was just having a bit of a communication with some dancers I'm following, the professional dancers. Dance world these days is pretty close to me, at least the American side of it. And we were discussing some of the things in like, it was more around communication and taking action, like more generic, but still that a lot of things people think to themselves or they want to try, but they don't end up trying, right? So this is like really going for it. It will take a lot of courage. Imagine that huge wave, it's a surf wave that awaits you, divine masculines. Okay, let's move into tarot. I don't want to make this too long of a read, so like I promised, we're going to focus on what is each of the counterparts doing at the moment to bring the union closer. And it's not even the energy, it's not even what is like the big goal, it's specifically what are the twins doing right now to bring the union closer. And we'll start with divine feminine, I'm sorry. Of course, we'll start with divine feminine. Whoa, got some card here. Upside down. Can't even find it anymore. Okay, sometimes this is also useful to like, it was Ace of Swords, by the way. I don't know, sounds a little symbolic where, you know, we're looking for the truth. We have, okay. The world, yes, the closing cycles. This is continuation from yesterday. So divine feminine is closing certain cycle. Okay, we'll find out a little bit more. What about divine masculines? Knight of Wands, Hierophant, Four of Pentacles. Quite a few cards. Okay, several things that they're doing. Okay. And what is going on in the connection right now? What's the connection energy at the moment? Oh, Knight of Cups and the Hanged Man. Yeah, there's still some the time of silence, of stillness, of it might look a little bit stagnant on the surface, but underneath there's a lot of loving energy and a lot of transformation happening, a lot of metamorphosis even. Okay, bottom of the deck, the Ace of Wands. I'm getting this, especially with the sun, and for some reason I'm seeing it as a sunrise here. It's like this rising of passion and enthusiasm for what is to come. And it's funny because a lot of people don't know what is to come, what is out there, what is coming, right? And we are trying to focus on the now as much as possible anyway, not to have too many plans, too much ahead, you know, trust in the divine plan. So it's a really strange feeling when you are excited about what's coming, but you're not really sure what is it gonna be. Like you might get some idea, but it's still like pretty vague, but you're still excited. But it's great, right? Like that's the point. You're supposed to pollinate the world with your joy, and that's how it's gonna attract more joy to you, by being in that joyful energy. So it's kind of like you need to start feeling joy about those things that are to come before they're coming, and sometimes even before you know what exactly is coming. Okay, I'm sure that was very straightforward, right? Let's get some clarifiers. For the World card, it's the Temperance. For the masculine activities, okay, Queen of Wands. And that's cool, that's so cool. Please clarify the Hangman and the Knight of Cups. Oh, there you go, 4 Wands. Nice to have it in the connection energy space, right? Okay, bottom of the deck here was 5 of Cups, by the way. So there's still some sadness from what happened in the past. Take it how it resonates for you. Yeah, let's get into what each of the twins is doing to bring the union closer. So divine feminine, you have two major arcanas, the world and the temperance. It's an interesting combination of earth and fire, but also to be honest, this is a continuation of that story from yesterday when we were talking about the closing cycle. Or was it the day before, right? Like somewhere very close, probably it was yesterday. And the cycle that the feminine is closing with the help of the divine, because we have two major arcanas here. So clearly this is divinely guided, divinely orchestrated. And what needs to be nurtured is patience and meticulous attention, it's consistency. There you go. It's patience and consistency. And the cycle that needs to be closed is rushing with analysis and solution. And it's one of the anxious kind of behavioral patterns. Gabby Bernstein talks a lot about it. Pretty much every branch of psychology talks about it, right? When you're trying to solve the problem quickly, when you're trying to limit the time when you're inside the problem, while you're living through it, right? Because you want to get rid of it right away. So sometimes we don't think deeply, or we don't wait really until it plays out, or we get more information, or there is a more obvious answer, maybe something easier than what you had in mind at first. You brainstorm the ideas and you go with whatever seems best. And unfortunately, living in 3D world, a lot of us pick something that we logically consider the best solution, not something that we're intuitively guided to do. And that's the trick here. And again, here, another side of the temperance, as you know, is balancing masculine and feminine. It's similar topic, because when you're choosing the answer, the solution logically, that's the masculine energy. When you're following the intuition or surrendering to what is happening, that's feminine energy, right? And the trick is in balancing them out, because both of them are needed for the perfect solve, for that potion making process, right? For the magic to happen, right? And once that balance is reached, then you're immediately I'm seeing this image of bullet train taking you closer to union. Great. Lovely energy. Love it. Love it. For the masculines, we have, what was the clarifier? Pretty sure there was something here. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Fetching the card. Yeah, it was Queen of Wands. Yeah, I had a little laugh here because this is my Divine Feminine card. And it's funny that, it's ironic, but kind of not super surprising, I guess. But I'm a Divine Feminine, so to me it's a little funny that the Divine Feminine is actually the one that inspiring Divine Masculine to do what they're doing, to bring the union closer. First of all, to follow their passion and to be brave in pursuing the passion. Even if, we were seeing at the beginning, they know, right? First of all, they know that it takes courage, it will take effort. They need to be brave, they need to take some chances, but they're choosing to pursue it. Meaning they're more in alignment with what is out there for them. They're not just following conventional ways or finding shortcuts anymore. The second one is getting the financial matters in order. And this card is often regarded with negative connotation, but I'm getting here Divine Masculines understand that financial aspect of their life is quite important, without exaggeration, but they're supposed to have some savings for the rainy day. They're supposed to make some smart choices, maybe some investments, to kind of think ahead, and either the divine feminine is inspiring them by how well they are dealing with their finances and how financially savvy they're being, or the other side of it for some of you is that they're seeing divine feminine having some difficulties with finances, and that is in turn pushes them to pay more attention to this topic and to make sure they don't get in such trouble or inconvenience themselves, right? Especially now at turbulent times. And finally, they are learning to step up as a leader, as a speaker, as someone who is leading by example. That's the phrase, right? So maybe they haven't really seen themselves as a role model or, somebody who is the teacher of others, that exemplary person, right, who has the mastery of whatever it is, their subject matter expert. And now they're getting confident enough to step into that role. They are preparing. If they have been doing that before, they are stepping up and going into the next level, where they put more meaning into it, more depth, and they're learning from divine feminine how they deliver the message, how they become the leaders, the role models, and what kind of approach they follow, which is already unconventional compared to what people usually do in 3D for many different reasons. Not going to go into that right now. And then finally, for the connection energy, we get, I started talking about it, the Hangman and the Knight of Cups. It's clarified by 4 Wands. So there is a very strong alignment with what is necessary for union right now in this connection. And on the surface, or from the distance, it may look like the twins don't really communicate. There is some coldness or stagnation or lack of interest, but there is a lot of inner work happening. A lot of things are happening behind the scenes as to how the twins are learning about giving and receiving love, about different kinds of dynamics with people in their lives. And there are a lot of different scenarios here, and I don't have time to go into all of them. If you're interested in your specific situation, you can book a reading with me or a coaching session, and we can talk in more detail. In the meantime, I still have my Keepers of the Light deck, so I'm going to pull a card for Divine Feminine with some advice from the Ascended Masters and for masculines as well. We'll start with the feminine, of course. Two cards. Mercury. I love when this card falls like during or around the Mercury retrograde. Open communication. Get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. That said, the retrograde starts on Friday. Still have a few days left, and it sounds like you could use some clearing the air, right? That's what it's called. Speak up with love and be heard. But it's very important to speak up with love. The same goes for the retrograde period. That's going to last till 2nd of October, I think. It doesn't mean that you don't talk to people, but make sure that you're prepared to deliver your message with love. Because if that's not the case and you're following some other feelings and emotions, it's probably not going to go very well. Like worse than you would expect. And the other card is White Eagle, Ancestor Spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Yeah, and with that pattern that we were discussing for the feminines, I think that's what is meant. And it looks like it wasn't, or it's not just your personal pattern, but it could be a pattern for your lineage, for your ancestors too. So you're healing generational karma here by studying this pattern and healing it for yourself. What do we have the masculine? What's the advice for Divine Masculine? Okay, we have Green Tara, Supreme Protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation. Trust. And again, another energy of like move beyond limitation. It's about that you will only see the way by paving the way. So don't get bothered that there is no road there and you have to kind of create it as you go, right? Don't be afraid to step up and be in the spotlight, because that's exactly what you're meant to do, to be, and that's what is being asked from you right now. You are protected, you know. It's like, I love that feeling when you know that you are being guided, you are being protected, and nothing wrong is going to happen. And whatever will feel negative is just going to be the perception, and it's still going to be something beautiful that will help you propel yourself forward in your journey. Okay, I hope this has been good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love this message so much, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.